Writing equations and determining solutions for problems involving area of trapezoids. Number 1. Use the ruler provided to measure the dimensions of the trapezoid shown to the nearest ½ inch. All right, so when I use my ruler, I'm going to measure, okay? But what I need to measure is I'm going to first look at the formula. All right, I'm going to look at the formula for an area of a trapezoid. The formula for area of a trapezoid is area equals 1/2 times, because it's in the parentheses, base 1 plus base 2 times the value of my height. All right, so that means that I need to first figure out what is base 1, what is base 2, and what is my height. Now remember that when you have height, your height is going to be connecting both your bases. All right, so here your height is with your right angle. All right, so this is my height. Your bases are your parallel sides. So the two sides that are parallel. Now, which one is base 1, which one is base 2? It doesn't really matter. I just call the one on top base 1 just because I like things sequentially, and top to bottom is sequential. So when I measure it in inches, base 1 is going to be 2 inches. Base 2 is going to be 4 inches. And my height is going to be 1.5 inches. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to substitute in my formula, my numbers for my formula. So we're trying to find the area. So I have area is equal to 1/2 times your base 1 is 2, your base 2 plus base 2 is 4, times the value of my height. And so I'm going to, I'm just going to put times 1.5, okay? You could have also put that in parentheses like this, so you know that you're going to multiply that. Either way is fine. It doesn't change the value. It just, so you know that you're multiplying. All right, now the one thing that I like to do is because multiplying by 1/2 is exactly the same as dividing by 2. And so one of the things that I tend to do is I like to divide it by 2, okay? So we know GEMDOS here, we've got to follow our order of operations. And what we're going to do first is we're going to add 2 plus 4. 2 plus 4 is 6, okay? And we have times 1.5, and that's all divided by 2. Okay, divided by 2. So what I'm going to do is I can really quickly say, ooh, I can divide 6 divided by 2, and that's going to help to simplify it. Or I can go ahead and multiply 6 times 1.5 and divide it by 2. It doesn't matter because I could have, over here, I could have rewritten this like this. Let's see. 6 divided by 2 times 1.5, which is the same thing. All right, and so 2 goes into 6 3 whole times. So my new number is 3 times 1.5. Or in this case, if it's easier for you to see the x, then you can write the x. But you're multiplying now 3 times 1.5, which is going to give me a grand total of, here, I'll just do it over here. 5 times 3 is 15. Carry your 1. 3 times 1 is 3, plus 1 more is 4. You have 1 place value behind the decimal, so we need 1 number behind the decimal, which is going to be 4.5 inches squared. And that is your answer for the area of this trapezoid. All right. All right, number 2. The face of a bucket is shaped like a trapezoid. The dimensions of the face are shown in the diagram. All right, so I'm looking at the numbers. Okay, I'm given 2 numbers, 90 and 75. So I'm going to go ahead and label those because those are my bases because they are the parallel sides. So I'm going to say base 1 and base 2. And I'm looking for height. Now your height is never going to be the slanted lines. Okay, this is a distractor. Extra information, you don't need it. There might be numbers there sometimes, but you don't need it. Remember that the height is always connected by the right angle. All right, so we do not know what the height is. So height is equal to d centimeters. We don't know what it is. So at the bottom, it's asking me to write the equation. That can be used to find A, the area. Well, I know that the formula is area equals 1/2 times base 1 plus base 2 times my height. Now, I'm going to substitute in what I already know. Here's my A. I don't need to do anything, so I know 1/2 is going to be the fraction. Base 1 is going to be equal to 90 plus base 2 is equal to 75 times my height. We don't know the height, okay, but we know that D represents the height, so we can just say D, okay? We could also leave it as H, and then we could figure out what the value of H is, because we're going to have to figure out the value what D is here anyway. The most important thing when you're using a formula, don't let it confuse you. You're just substituting in your numbers for the letters, okay? So don't be scared by it. Just practice substituting in those numbers. All right, you got this. Have a great day.